Hi, friends. I'd like to share a practice recommendation with us today. And the recommendation is go back to some of the first things you learned and play them better. If you've been playing any length of time, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or longer, you play better today than you did when you first got started. And so there was this whole group of exercises and tunes that you started with, either because someone said, hey, these are great tunes for beginners, or try this, or it was like, well, that's what was right at hand, and so you learned with it. And sometimes when we're playing an instrument and there's that first tune we learn, we tend to set that tune aside as that's my beginner tune that I don't need to come back to. But some of those tunes we learned are beautiful, emotive, or fast tunes that you're going to want to come back to. And so my recommendation is, if there's a tune, even one you use to begin learning to play the whistle with, and you haven't used it for a while, go back to that tune and refresh your memory of it. Revisit that tune that you learned. And I've got a couple of reasons for that. Do you remember I recommended one time that you record yourself so that you could listen to yourself playing and go, wow, I'm better than I thought. Or, oh, I didn't think that was a problem, but it is a problem. And all that kind of stuff. But it's also because you could set that recording aside and come back in a couple of months and listen to yourself and go, oh, wow, I have improved so much. So this is similar, but tweaked. What I'd like to recommend here is that you pull out some of the first tunes you learned. Not like if you started with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, maybe not that, but like I started with some pretty popular tunes to learn to play, and I haven't returned to some of them in a while. And I pulled out in my practice this morning, I pulled out a couple of tunes to relook at. I pulled out Dawning of the Day, one of the very first tunes I played. Return from Fingal, I hadn't played for a while. And then a couple of faster tunes as well. And I started playing through them, and I was thinking about that. And I realized this is doing a couple of important things for us. I wanted to share this as a recommendation with you. Returning to some of these tunes that you want to know, even if you used it as a starter tune, keeps that tune fresh in your mind. There are so many things I learned in my life that I hardly remember at all. I'd almost have to start over with some of the things I learned. I was quite the math geek when I first started college and in high school. I remember pulling out, when I was cleaning out some books, I pulled out an old math book of mine from university, and I looked at it. I couldn't even understand the notes I had written in the margin of some of the formulas I had written down. I'm like, yeah, that was 50 years ago. But I don't want to find that I don't remember these tunes. So go back to them. Keep your brain fresh. Second, when I started learning to play, I'm learning to play. I can play ornaments better. I can play faster. I can play more expressively. And so going back to some of these first tunes I learned that are good staple tunes, I now learn them and play them better. And what that does is that puts the memory of that tune now not so much, I'm just remembering how I played it when I first picked up my Howard whistle after I first got it. I'm now remembering how I'm playing it today. I'm refreshing and updating that memory. Refresh and update your memories of these tunes and work on playing it better and better. Apply your new abilities to it, and then that becomes the new memory you have of how that tune is played. And that is excellent. A great way for us to do this. We're taking our current abilities and we're overlaying them on something we've known in the past. And third, this is just fun and encouraging to do this because I can stop and go, wow, I really have grown in my playing. And so celebrate your growth, but take your current growth and place it on top of what you've known before, especially if it's a tune you want to maintain. I'm doing this with both faster and slower tunes, and it will bring life to these tunes you have known, and it will encourage you, and you'll see how this constant discipline of playing improves how you play, and then your memory of these even older tunes will be refreshed and you'll be a better player all the way around. That's my practice recommendation today. Pull out some old tunes, refresh them. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade, happy whistling, and I'm about to grab another old tune and refresh it.